What is the best way to control and subjugate a population? It's to brainwash them into a learned state of powerlessness and make them believe that they are at the mercy of outside circumstances. A person who doesn't believe in oneself and doesn't believe in possibility would do anything to abide by the rules laid out by the authorities. That's how the insidious mechanism of our society functions. It's a complex web of lies, manipulation, and flawed indoctrination. There exists a spark of God within you that has been buried deep because of all the societal conditioning you have received over the years. Because you are not aware of its significance and your innate power, you have been living quite a mediocre life. Isn't that so? But all is not lost. There still is hope for you. Deep in the structure of your brain, there exists a small yet potent gland that can actually help you transcend your limits and become one with the infinite, the source of all there is. It can assist you in renewing and re-establishing your spiritual connection with your higher self. So are you ready to make use of this fascinating knowledge and awaken the Christ consciousness within you? If you are dedicated to unraveling the mystery, stay tuned to this video, for at the end you will find an effective technique that will help you with your objective. The knowledge that we are limitless beings of divinity is not new. In fact, it is as old as human civilization itself, and the ascended spiritual masters from various traditions have talked about it extensively. The Bible talks about it through stories and parables. Unfortunately, most people look at the Bible just like they would try to understand any other piece of writing. So they do not pick anything substantial out of it, as they try to cling to the literal meaning of every word. But since the time of Jesus, only a few souls have known the secret to the usage of metaphors in the Bible to impart wisdom and secrets that were forbidden to the general public. This has been the norm of human societies since the beginning of time. Not everyone was permitted to know the deepest esoteric secrets, especially the ones related to our infinite nature and our ability to create by awakening the Christ consciousness within us. Only a handful of sages, mystics, and people in power knew about these profound secrets. Had it become a piece of common knowledge, humans would have found a way out of their misery way earlier, but is not something the people in power want. The people in power have always wanted to retain the status quo, with some powerful ones benefiting from the ignorance of the masses. This is how this matrix of the 3D world has been set up. The system is so powerful that you cannot dismantle it with physical force, and any fight against it is akin to expending all your vital energy reserves for nothing. The only way to break free from the invisible shackles of ordinary life is to go within, to realize and commune with the God within you. It is about awakening the Christ consciousness within so that you may live a heart-centered life filled with love and satisfaction. But before we move further ahead, it's crucial to understand what Christ consciousness really is. Christ consciousness, as the name suggests, is an elevated state of consciousness very different from the normal states of consciousness we all usually embody. Normally, our senses are bathed in the hormones of stress, fear, and worries because we are too deep into the problems of the material world. The material world, although an important component of our reality, is merely an illusion. Mind is all there is, and one's state of consciousness is what gives birth to the outer circumstances in the physical world. So fighting against the physical reality is futile at best. It is being carved out from your states of consciousness, and if you are serious about taking charge of your life, then you must start from within, by dealing with your state of consciousness, which is the very source of every experience you encounter in your life. Cultivating a Christ consciousness is the only solution for all your fears, worries, and apprehensions. At this level of consciousness, you transcend the limitations imposed by the material world and connect directly with infinite intelligence, the God consciousness. It is the same state of consciousness that Jesus aligned with and performed miracles. Time after time, we witness enlightened beings who carry the same consciousness as Buddha, Krishna, Gandhi, and so many others. These masters and ascended souls bring the message of liberating one's soul from the perceived limitations of the world. Every problem or fear is only a perception constructed through the human mind. Because this lie is perpetuated so viciously throughout society, most people start believing it wholeheartedly and give their power away. But the Christ consciousness is the consciousness which does pervade the universe, but is exemplified by the life of Jesus and all the avatars and all liberated beings, in that they express not ego consciousness, not a separate, diluted or divided consciousness, but the unitive consciousness of the Divine Father, and that is the Christ. Nayaswami Ananta. The ego plays a huge role in diluting the consciousness, for it teaches attachment to external things and objects. But living in Christ consciousness means knowing the trickery of the ego and not being its prey. There are three important characteristics of the Christ consciousness which assist a person elevate from his limited perception to truly becoming a part of the infinite source and embodying its magnificence in every aspect of life. The first characteristic is to awaken to one's true self of being a divine extension of the Supreme or God. The Greek word for Christ means the Anointed One. God flows through every one of us, and hence each one of us is the Anointed One. But it's only that we do not realize our power and live in states of fear. No one is too special to be devoid of this honor of being an extension of God. So, achieving Christ consciousness is possible for each one of us only if we cultivate enough self-awareness. That brings us to the second characteristic of Christ consciousness, which entails becoming aware of our thoughts and actions. Once an individual awakens to their true divinity and realizes the truth of being a part of the infinite, they must let go of their old ways of operating in the world. Every thought triggers a process that eventually ends in a physical action. So we are all weaving the tapestry of our life experiences one thought at a time. While an ordinary man can live an unexamined life, a person yearning for Christ consciousness simply cannot. One has to be aware of what thoughts he is nourishing and watering in the fertile soil of his mind, for every single thought is shaping his destiny. The third characteristic of the Christ consciousness is living life from a higher level of self-awareness. This implies offering kindness to oneself and others and not getting stuck in the labyrinth of the ego. So how does one go about practically activating the Christ consciousness? The answer is hidden in your head, quite literally. The pineal gland, a very small gland in your brain, is your pathway to higher dimensions and to expand your spirit. It is the activation of this gland that is of prime importance for the expansion of your spiritual sight and wisdom. It has also been called the third eye, or the eye of God, in various ancient texts, for it leads the way to higher consciousness and communion with infinite intelligence. This special gland, a small endocrine organ measuring 3-5 mm, is located near the brainstem at the center of the brain. The pine cone shape distinguishes it from other organs and structures around it. The pineal gland plays a crucial role in producing melatonin, a hormone that influences brain functions such as sleep. It hence impacts the circadian rhythm and serves as a connector between the realm of senses and the heavenly spiritual realm. Notably, the pineal gland receives more blood flow than any other organ, leading to the belief that it holds the highest concentration of energy within the human body. In the Vedic texts of ancient India, the pineal gland has been referred to as the Ajna chakra. According to Sanskrit literature, there exist 7 main chakras, or energy centers in the human body. Each chakra is a reservoir through which energy flows and nourishes the mind, body, and soul. Every chakra is unique, has its distinguishing characteristics, and plays a certain role in calibration and balance of energy in the body. A chakra can become blocked because of various reasons, and hence impact the fragile balance of the entire system. If a chakra is out of balance, it must be harmonized back into life so it may continue replenishing the vital reserves of the energetic body. The ajna is the sixth of the 7 chakras in the body, located right between the eyebrows. The stem of the word ajna means knowledge, depicting how this energy center has long been associated with wisdom and access to higher dimensions. The Kundalini energy, which rises from the base of the spine, reaches the third eye center, leading to visions and heightened perception. This perception is remarkably different from what we experience in the normal states of consciousness and is, hence, devoid of the notion of duality. In this chakra, everything becomes one, the masculine and the feminine, man and God, for there is only one energy pulsating through every avatar. Master yogis undergo the activation of this chakra and become all-perceiving beings capable of molding their desires into reality. In ancient Egypt, the pineal gland was called the Eye of Horus, and archaeologists have found the pineal gland preserved in the mummification process. However, the importance of the pineal gland in awakening superconsciousness is not limited to ancient texts and traditions. Scientific research is being done on how this tiny gland merges the world of matter with other dimensions. The functioning of the pineal gland is closely related to 2 neurotransmitters called serotonin and melatonin. The pineal gland is highly sensitive to light. When we perceive light through our open eyes, it hits our optic nerve, and the optic nerve sends a signal to the brain, triggering a bunch of neural and chemical reactions that lead the pineal gland to make serotonin. Serotonin is the neurotransmitter that helps the body become aware of its environment and regulates its many functions. Serotonin also produces beta wave frequencies ranging from 1232 Hz. These are high-frequency brainwaves responsible for critical thinking and accomplishing day-to-day tasks. So during the day, most of us are in beta brainwave states, and that helps us interact with the outside world. On the other hand, whenever we are in an environment with diminishing light, like at night, the pineal gland starts manufacturing the other neurotransmitter called melatonin. This one helps the brain waves to slow down from beta to alpha to theta to delta. In the lower brainwave states, the sympathetic nervous system's activities are dampened, and the body goes into states of deep relaxation and rejuvenation, culminating in sleep. One of the most potent and scientifically documented ways of activating the pineal gland is by immersing oneself in deep states of meditation. An effective meditation principally leads to a complete disconnect from the outer world and gives us the time to connect with the realms beyond our usual perception. Millions of people try their luck at meditation, but only a handful get to experience the surreal activation of their pineal gland. This is because the conscious mind is too busy and so occupied with the outer circumstances that it never lets the body and mind fully unwind. The brainwave frequencies are chaotic and give no space for delving deep into the layers of one's own consciousness. Since the natural secretion of melatonin at night creates lower brainwave states, research shows that meditating at night between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. yields the most impressive results, since the melatonin levels are highest in a 24-hour cycle. In Sanskrit, this is called the Brahma Muhurta. Brahman literally means the creator, so this time, just before sunrise, is considered as the ideal window for creating one's life. Here is how Sadhguru emphasizes the importance of the Brahma Muhurta. The entire body is in a certain conducive atmosphere, and there is a natural production of what is called melatonin, which is a secretion of the pineal gland. We want to make use of this because the pineal gland is secreting at its maximum during Brahma Muhurta, which means you can stabilize. At this time, people want to sit up and do their spiritual processes so that they get the most benefit. Brahma Muhurta means the time of the Creator. You can look at it this way. It is the time when you can create yourself. It is essential to recognize that the activation of the pineal gland can only happen in states of rest and repair and not in the survival mode. As the stress levels go up in the body, the melatonin levels diminish, leaving the body in an alert state of fight or flight. So your best chance is to take advantage of the hours between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. and meditate to activate this mysterious gland and access Christ consciousness within you. As we come to the end of the video, here is the pineal gland activation meditation you may use every night. First, settle in a seated position in a comfortable yet straight posture. Since you will be doing this meditation at night, you are likely to fall back asleep if you do not maintain a steady posture. Gently close your eyes and locate all the energy centers in your body one by one. They start from the tail of your spine and end at the crown of your head. If you can see a visual representation of the location of the energy centers before sitting for meditation, that would help you avoid any confusion. Once you have mentally located all the chakras in your body, close your eyes and start breathing deeply. Take long inhales and exhales to ground yourself even deeper and firmer in the present moment. Slowly put all your attention on the first two energy centers of your body. These are the root and the sacral chakras. Now take a deep inhale, and as you inhale, visualize all the energy from these lower centers traveling upwards. With a firm intention and a long inhale, let this energy pass through every center and eventually release it between your eyebrows, at your pineal gland. As the energy reaches your third eye, exhale and relax. Then gear up for a second breath, doing the same, pulling energy from the lower centers and concentrating it at your pineal gland. In the beginning, you would only be able to do a few rounds of breaths, but with enough training and patience, you would get better at this breathwork technique. Repeat this breathwork session every day for a minimum of 21 days to activate the pineal and experience the magic beyond the world of 3D. Don't forget that your most incredible and gratifying life is on the horizon. You simply need to bring it into being one day at a time by leveraging the immense power of your pineal gland.